iPhone 13, the screen is broken and also the back is badly broken. In this video, I'm going to do a screen replacement of this device. With this big dent at the bottom of the device, I think it needs a new frame. At the bottom of this iPhone 13, there are two screws at the bottom of the device that you need to remove before starting the removal process of the screen. The first thing to do is to hit the screen of this iPhone 13. I hit it for 1 minute and 4 seconds, 1100 Fahrenheit, and air output 50%. With a broken screen like this, a suction cup is not going to work, so I use my metal tool in order to create a small gap between the screen and the frame of the device, and I started pulling. So this screen was so badly broken that the layers of the screens were separating from one another. So after removing a section of the glass, I had the screen panels on the bottom. Then I used the metal tool in order to remove the frame of the screen so that I can start pulling the screen all together with the frame and the panels. So generally with a normal screen that is broken, if the suction cup is not working, you can simply use a metallic tool in order to create a small separation between the screen and the frame of the device. Then you can insert the guitar pick, the plastic guitar pick, and continue the removal process, detaching the screen from the body of the device. Make sure that when you use the metal tool to create the small separation between the screen and the body of the device, do not leave scratches where you use the metal tool. This is why I'm using the plastic tool to continue removing the screen from the frame of this device. You can see here on the left side of the device is where you have the connection, the flex cables. So you will need to be very careful on the left side of the device while looking at the screen, not to damage, scratch, or cut any of these cables, especially the one on the top. So here's the inside of the iPhone 13. You can see it is very similar to the iPhone 14. So here you have one cable going from the motherboard onto the screen, which is the screen flex cable, and the other one is for the proximity sensor on the top of the device. This one is going to be one of the parts for your Face ID component. In order to access the screen flex cable, you need to remove 3 screws. Then you're going to remove the metallic plate covering all the flex cables. This one, the screen flex cable, was already removed. So let's work on the top of the device. You need to remove 4 screws in order to have access to that flex cable that goes from the motherboard onto the screen. A broken iPhone turned on with a lot of alarms, it is going to keep ringing until the battery dies. This one, the battery still has a little bit of charge. For this metallic plate, make sure that you're careful while pulling it out, not to damage the flex cable. I can remove the flex cable directly, but that's not the right way. The right way is to disconnect the battery cable first, then remove any other flex cables on the device. Generally, you should remove the battery flex cable or disconnect the battery flex cable with your finger or use a plastic tool to be safe. A metallic tool can produce a short and damage your device. Once the battery cable has been disconnected, you can remove the other flex cables with your metallic tool, simply because there is no power and there is no risk for short. This is the new screen for this iPhone 13. Make sure that you connect the flex cable for the screen on the motherboard of this device and then turn the device on to test the screen to make sure that it is working properly before you move to the next step. For testing, make sure that you connect back the battery cable. This is one of those very cheap screens designed for you to keep using your device while you wait to get an original screen. This is why at the top on the dynamic island, it looks very similar to the dynamic island of the iPhone 12. This is the cheap screen. So not sure what the passcode is, I'm gonna contact the person who gave me this device. For the next step, you need to remove the proximity sensor that is attached on the original screen onto the new screen that you're going to install on your device. For that, you will need to remove 3 screws that hold a metallic plate. Under the metallic plate is 2 sensors that are going to be used for the Face ID authentication and all that stuff. After I have removed the metallic plate, next I'm going to use a heat gun in order to hit the front of the device where the proximity sensor is located. Then after that, I will be using my metal tool, my flat metal tool, in order to start peeling this big flex cable that goes all the way to the area where you have the cameras. After 40 seconds of heating, I use my flat tool. This is not a sharp tool, in order to start peeling the flex cable. By doing this, I'm making sure that I started peeling off the flex cable for the proximity sensor very safely without any possibility of damaging that flex cable. I'm sure it is possible to do it with alcohol, but you will have to be a little bit careful not to put too much alcohol on this area. Also, while doing this, make sure that you take your time in order to do this properly without scratching or damaging this flex cable. This, if it gets damaged, you will lose Face ID, and also you might have some stuff disabled on your iPhone, which might be a terrible news for you trying to replace your screen. I will advise that if the device is getting cold and peeling this flex cable gets a lot difficult, you can reheat the area again for 20 seconds and then continue. This is going to make it easier to remove this proximity sensor without any chance of damaging it. When you finished removing the big piece of the proximity sensor, the other side has some very tiny flex cables that are supposedly designed to be broken. So make sure that you're extra careful while working on the sensors themselves. You can use a flat metal tool to pry out the sensors that are on top near the camera hole. You have the microphone and two other sensors that are on this area. So make sure that you're very careful while prying these out, and you need to take your time while doing this to avoid damaging anything. So it's done. The proximity sensor has been removed perfectly without any damage to any of the cables. You can see on the top near the sensors, the cables are the slimmest and the smallest. So before installation of the proximity sensor on the new screen, make sure that you blow some air to push all the debris and dust on that area. So normally you should be able to just put the proximity sensors on the inside where they have to go and apply pressure for everything to stick. If it doesn't stick, make sure that you place each sensor in the slot where it is supposed to sit and apply the metallic plate that goes on top of the sensors. The next step is the installation of at least one screw so that everything is held together. Then you're going to install the other two screws. The installation of the proximity sensor on the new screen is completed, and I have connected all the cables to the motherboard. Then the battery cable is the one at last. Then this time you need to turn the device on, put the passcode, test the device, make sure that Face ID is working for you without any issues, and also test the device for maybe 5 minutes to make sure that everything is fine. Then you can go ahead and replace all the metallic plate that goes on the motherboard. Before installation of the screen and the metallic plate, if you have a double-sided tape for the new screen, you need to do the installation of the double-sided tape before you do the installation of the screen flex cables and the metallic plate and all the screws. If you're not using a double-sided tape for your device, you can do B7000, it is going to work. Also, you need to peel off this yellow plastic on the inside of your screen before the installation. In order to put the screen, make sure that you start at the top. Make sure that the screen is fully inserted and latched on the frame of the device. And then you go at the bottom, you do the same thing. Then you can start applying pressure on the screen for it to stick to the frame of the device. Once this has been done and you're sure that the screen is fully seated, you can start testing the screen again after installation and sealing the device to make sure that everything is working properly. If anything is wrong, there is something wrong, and you will have to open the device again and look for what's wrong. For the next step, it is not mandatory, but you can use a repair clamps to apply constant pressure to the screen for at least 10 minutes and then call it done.